What's up with that one guy, the secret agent man? He doesn't have a faction logo.
Oh. Think Zach.
Is that a bug?
That's
Oh,
bug.
no.
We need to fix that
What's
right away.
this?
Hold on. Okay.
Wait a minute.
What is this?
What's going on here?
What the F?
What's this? What's this strange?
I've never
beast?
seen anything like this in PlanetSide.
Man, that helmet looks
This is
really
strange.
familiar.
But it looks like something we saw just a little while ago.
Yeah, it's foreshadowing.
Don't bully. No bully, please. Upside down. Yeah. So as you can see, we've added the NS segue.
Yeah, the NS Segway. Boom, NS Segway. I think that's it for that, Mike.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, it's even better than that.
Yeah. So the in PlanetSide 1, there was a faction called the Black Ops faction. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't. They
There's
weren't.
something.
Yeah, they weren't a faction.
Oh no, they were. So I conferred with Burness and Kevmo about this.
Okay,
in
they knew their way
particular
around
before the stream.
PlanetSide 1.
Yeah,
a
actually,
lot better.
Burness worked on PlanetSide 1.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So the NS Black Ops faction in PlanetSide 1 was actually driven specifically by the developers. Like they would take players, and so during times of, I mean, either overpopulation or if they were just bored, I guess, they would take players from certain factions and then put them in this fourth faction. And the intent was to make it so this fourth faction, all the other three factions would team up and fight them. So the NS Black Ops characters had they had more health. They had I think they could use all the weapons, and then they had this fusion katana.
That's in PlanetSide 1.
Yes, PlanetSide 1. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
Not
we're
quite.
not doing that.
No.
So quell
But-
your fears now.
Yes.
However, we have.
So the Black Ops. So this is essentially a new faction.
Mhm.
Yep.
At least in the code, it
Yeah.
is very much
We-
a new faction.
Yeah.
We have created a new faction. This faction is going to work a little bit differently than the other ones, than the
Mhm.
existing three.
Okay.
You create this robot character, and you go in and you log in, and it'll put you and assign you to one of the existing three factions, depending on population. So it'll assign you to the lowest population faction. So as he loads in here, he'll notice that, oh, look, he got assigned to the Venu Sovereignty.
Yeah.
So we've gone through and completely reworked like every faction interaction in the game,
Yep.
be it like how your med kits work, or how revives work, or
Yeah.
weapons and
Right.
vehicle spawns, and like everything from the ground up.
So NS characters are going to have access to basically anything that's common pool. So by default, they're going to start with the NS X lineup here for the most part. Daimyo for the infiltrator, the Tonto for the flying mans, and pilot, rocket rifle, all sorts of fun
So
stuff.
they use common pool weapons, completely faction agnostic. They are assigned to a specific team. So as you'll look here, there is some wonderful trim. Could you go back to that for a sec?
Yeah.
Their character is tinted based on the faction that they belong to. So here you see the nice purple and teal tint of the Vanu Sovereignty.
Yeah. And actually, these are glowy emissive bits. Are going to need it needs a little bit of cleanup.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So
it's
when
still a work in
so let me
progress.
actually get in.
And for those of you who are curious, this was Doku's 3-month project. I know he's been teasing, and honestly, like he's done amazing work on this.
I'm
And-
really looking forward to his BFR though. Just kidding. I can't help but tease.
yeah. Actually, you know what? So a lot of the community members, and we're trying to give like hints like to that direction. It's like
it's
BFRs.
really hard to hint about like what we've been working on without giving up the
Yeah.
the goose on
So
that.
one of the screenshots that was put out on Twitter was the old. There was this old shed in the middle of Indar, dusty old Indar, and there used to be a glass pane that you'd look through, and you'd see the old BFR model, the old BFR model. So it was just a screenshot of the shed, and I
Yeah.
think a couple people picked up on it, and so we're just
Freaking
trying to
out.
like push it that direction. But no BFRs.
Whoa!
I'm
You
summoning
summoned you.
Yeah.
So
How
you need to,
dare
so
you.
I
need to
thought you were going to be
aim.
still talking.
I kind of am.
Why are you under the ground?
I'm pressing just buttons.
Stop.
Okay.
Where are you?
I don't know. I have run speed 1.
There you are.
Okay. As you can see, the Black Ops faction runs much faster than the normal infantry.
Stop cheating.
Yeah, they're gonna have huge
Where'd you go?
advantages over. They're
Right.
not
No,
gonna.
no,
Yeah,
they're
and just
exactly
to
like everyone
clarify,
else.
Yeah.
exactly. There's no major health pools and anything like that.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that was traditional to PlanetSide 1, but our game is like this is another character, so they're going to be assisting the lowest populated
is.
faction, and because of that, because they're assisting the lowest populated faction, fights should be more fair across the continent, and actually the wait times for members are going down, which is fortunate because this, can I say it, is this is a members only feature. And so if you have a membership, you can purchase, if you have a membership, you can create this character, and then also, in order to continue to play the character, you have to continue to have the membership. Like that's the deal.
To have access to play them.
Exactly. So
one of the sort of just built-in advantages of playing one of these characters is, since you're going to the lowest population faction of each of the zones that you're going into, you'll never be in a membership queue ever again. But but also because of or any sort of queue getting into a zone. But because you're playing as these characters, it'll make the other people that are waiting in queues not have to wait as long, because you're bringing it that much closer to the faction balance that we're looking for, to allow for other people to join their other factions. So
exactly. So this is a feature that benefits like PlanetSide 2 as a whole, and it's something that it's kind of been. It's an idea from older times, but now it's here.
It's something we're pretty excited about. Not only was it something that was like a really large technical undertaking to be able to like I said, like rework all the faction interactions, but it gives you an opportunity to like play on different sides of the war easily, and you can create a robot only outfit and see people across multiple different
you should switch out to a different class. So
try
this is the
different
heavy,
classes.
and I think the heavy looks amazing. I love how it silhouettes, actually. It makes it really identifiable from far away.
It assigns you to a faction based on which zone you're in, on the population of that zone. So if you switch from one zone to another, it'll reassign you to whatever that zone happens to need.
And there's work that we'll need to do to make it so you, as the player, always keep in mind which faction you're fighting for, because that can get confusing if you're zone or jumping zones.
Yeah, I played a lot of Spy before. It's something that's keen on our perception.
And so you can currently, Paul briefly mentioned, but it's worth reiterating. You can have an outfit full of NS robots. They are not on the same faction per se. They have different assignments, depending on what zone they're in, and just whose population is the lowest. So there is some. I want to kind of rationalize the membership benefit, because it's important that we do it this way. So making it a members only feature is not only adds value to membership. That's obvious, right?
Camera, would you?
To you who?
Just put it at middle. I'm going to mess around on this a little bit.
Okay. Not only adds value to membership, but also makes it so you don't have these guys running around absolutely everywhere. And that means that you have more, the faction flavors is still present within the game. So there's still a reason that there's a bunch of NC dudes and there's a bunch of ES dudes and that sort of thing. And then also by lowering so the downside of the system is that it is kind of solo player based. It's like a lone wolf system, really. I mean, you can have an outfit, but that's no guarantee that you're going to be able to play with your friends at any given time, right? So there is drawbacks, and we're well aware of that, but the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. And hopefully this is something that's fun.
We're also not forcing people to play this system.
No, yeah, exactly. So, and again, with the queue times and just balance fights, that gives us a really solid direction to move in when it comes to, I don't know, just trying to create more balanced fights throughout the entire continent.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of the spawn system revamp as well, to try to get fights to be a lot more even, which we find to be much more engaging encounters and much more fun for their players.
Yeah, because even if you have if you have a 50% TR population, and throughout the entire continent, if you're overpopped, you have to put that population somewhere, which contributes to Zerging and overpopulation. Regardless of the spawn system, moving players around to different locations, you need to have a somewhat balanced faction globally in order to create balanced fights.
What's the move speed command? Sorry.
Slash run space whatever. Yeah.
So we have tons of ideas for what to add to the system to incentivize it, to make it more interesting for all the players that are involved. And So this is going to be the crux behind what we want to do with our play tests. This will be coming to the test server later today.